Imagine drawing a line across your backyard and expecting your dog to respect it forever. Sounds ridiculous, right? Well, that's exactly what happened here, except the backyard spans 25,000 square kilometers, and the dog is 2 million wildebeest who've been ignoring human borders for millennia. Story of one ecosystem brutally divided by colonial pens on a map, a story so incredible that it challenges everything we think we know about national boundaries. You're looking at the Masai Mara and the Serengeti, 2 parks, 2 countries, but 1 heartbeat. By the end of this video, you'll discover why this invisible line has created one of the most fascinating paradoxes in conservation history, and why breaking this story wide open might just blow your mind. Here's the truth they don't teach in geography class. The border between Kenya and Tanzania was drawn by colonial administrators in 1885 who had never set foot in Africa. They used rivers, mountain ranges, and straight lines, completely ignoring the fact that they were slicing to the middle of one of Earth's most spectacular ecosystems. The result? The same grasslands, the same acacia trees, the same everything, artificially split into the Kenyan Masai Mara and the Tanzanian Serengeti. It's like someone took scissors to the Mona Lisa and hung the pieces in different museums, then argued they were separate masterpieces. But here's where it gets interesting. Nature doesn't read maps. And what happened next would create one of the most beautiful acts of defiance in natural history. Meet the rebels. 2 million wildebeest, 200,000 zebra, and 500,000 gazelle who stage the greatest protest march on Earth every single year. The Great Migration doesn't care about your passport, your visa, or your carefully drawn borders. These animals follow a 1,800-mile circular route that treats the Kenya-Tanzania border like it doesn't exist. And here's the mind-blowing part. They've been doing this for over 1 million years, long before humans even existed, let alone started drawing lines on maps. The irony is delicious. Humans created 2 separate parks to protect what was always one ecosystem. It's like building 2 separate emergency rooms for 1 patient and wondering why the treatment isn't working. But this mistake accidentally created something unprecedented in conservation, a natural experiment in how different management styles affect the same ecosystem. Now here's where our story gets really fascinating. Same ecosystem, same animals, but completely different human approaches. The Masai Mara became Kenya's crown jewel, smaller, more exclusive, and frankly more expensive. In the Mara, you'll pay premium prices but get guaranteed front row seats to nature's greatest show. It's conservation through luxury tourism. Pay more, see more, impact less. The Kenyan side hosts about 200,000 visitors annually in just 1,500 square kilometers. Cross that invisible line into the Serengeti, and you're in a completely different world. Tanzania took the opposite approach. Bigger, wilder, less crowded. At 15,000 square kilometers, it's 10 times larger than the Mara, but with similar visitor numbers spread across that vast space. The result? Two completely different safari experiences of the exact same ecosystem. It's like having two different directors film the same movie. Same script, totally different feel. But here's where this story takes an unexpected turn. This accidental division created something remarkable, a natural backup system. When drought hits one side, animals flow to the other. When one area becomes overcrowded, the other provides relief. The different management philosophies actually complement each other perfectly. The Mara's intensive tourism model generates crucial revenue for conservation and local communities. The Serengeti's vast wilderness provides a space and solitude these animals need to truly thrive. And the real heroes of the story? The Maasai people, who've been the true guardians of this ecosystem long before any borders existed. They're found on both sides, still practicing traditional pastoralism that actually benefits the wildlife. It's a perfect example of how indigenous wisdom often surpasses modern conservation strategies. The Maasai knew what the colonial administrators didn't. This land was never meant to be divided. Ready for the mind-blowing finale? Here are the facts that will change how you see borders forever. First, Masai Mara in the Serengeti case isn't unique. Yellowstone spans multiple states. The Amazon crosses 8 countries. Most of Earth's great ecosystems laugh at human boundaries. Second, modern GPS tracking reveals that individual animals cross between the Mara and Serengeti dozens of times per year. Some lions and elephants have spent their entire lives as illegal immigrants, completely unaware they're breaking international law. Third, the only way to tell where Kenya ends and Tanzania begins from the air? The slightly different colored uniforms of the park rangers. Everything else, soil, trees, animals, even the color of the grass, is identical. But here's the most incredible part. This accidental experiment has created one of conservation's greatest success stories. Together, these two parks protect over 70% of the world's remaining lions, the entire Great Migration, and prove that cooperation trumps competition, even when it's unintentional. So the next time someone tells you that borders are permanent, that divisions are necessary, remember this story. Remember 2 million wildebeest who've been staging the world's longest peaceful protest, crossing an invisible line every year for 1 million years. In a world obsessed with building walls, sometimes the greatest beauty lies in the spaces where boundaries disappear. And sometimes the most profound lesson comes from realizing that the line was never really there at all. This is the Masai Mara. This is the Serengeti. This is what happens when nature writes its own rules. What other separate places in our world are really one? Let me know in the comments below.